So I'm back with another video in Windows deployment. For the last couple of videos I've been talking about how to install Windows, how to use remote installation services, and how to how that works on the client environment. But one of the big things about a server is two components. One is Active Directory. Oh, sorry, should I say? Big thing about a server and a domain is Active Directory and group policy. So a brief description of what they both are, and this is Wikipedia, the world according to Wikipedia. Uh, Active Directory is a directory service developed by Microsoft for Windows domain networks. It is included in most Windows operating systems. Windows Server operating systems as a set of processes and services. Initially, Active Directory was only in charge of centralized domain management, but starting with Windows Server 2008, Active Directory became an umbrella title for a broad range of directory-based identity-related services. That doesn't really explain a lot, but essentially, from my point of view, when I click on Active Directory users and computers, I can see that computers are on the domain. So this is client XP, client 2000. That's the wrong one. Standard users. So this is my standard user account, and where is administrators? And this is my admin account. And then you have a default administrator, which you can't use. And then what I've done, I've split up the PCs into 2000 and XP because I want to apply various rules to it. And rules are set via group policy. What is group policy? Group policy is a feature in the Microsoft NT family of operating systems that controls the working environment of user accounts and computer accounts. Group policy provides centralized management and configuration of operating systems, applications, and user settings in an Active Directory environment. A set of group policy configurations is called a group policy object. A version of group policy called local group policy allows a group policy object to be managed without Active Directory on standalone computers. So yeah, essentially they're just a set of rules, and I've actually got a few of those set up. There's one built in, so to do anything with group policy in Active Directory, you have to load Active Directory users and computers. And if I accidentally call that abusers and users, it's just a term that was said before and I just picked it up. But let's go. Not help. Wrong button. So if I go to properties and I go to group policy, so domain default policy. So in here, there's a few things such as password complexity requirements. That's the wrong button. Edit. See if I can find anything. Think. No. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Unfortunately, I can't click that and see what's set up in it. But what I've done, I've added more group policy objects, so verbose output. This allows me to replace the text that happens when you log into a computer. It says please wait. It could be there for 10-15 minutes. It's actually doing stuff in the background, but if I enable verbose output, it actually tells me what it's doing. But anyway, that's a policy I want against the entire domain. Remove last user logon name. So what this is when somebody logs into a PC, and I've noticed it with like Windows 7 and Windows 10 PCs, but I never remember that happening with the likes of Windows XP. Or maybe I just didn't notice. So what happens is when you log into a PC, Windows remembers the last user that's logged in. So when you log out and go to log back in, it automatically puts the username in, so all you have to do is type in the password. I don't really like that. I think it's a bit stupid, to be honest, because a lot of users, certainly in a school environment, that particular PC is not for that particular user. It's a PC that's used by multiple users. So I like that feature. I like to remove it. But there's other things that I can do as well. So those three policies will apply against these XP machines and this 2000 PC. But what if I want specific things applying against the XP and 2000? So what I need to do first, I need to move this, because this client 2000 PC needs to live. Wait, how do I? Can I move that from here? No, move. Alright. Yeah. So when PCs get installed, they just live in this computer's folder. Oh, organizational unit is the correct term. But so when they're installed, they just live in here and they get the default domain policy applied to them. I want this to be under my 2000 folder, and I want this to move into my XP folder. So what it's going to do is going to apply every policy under the domain. So it's those three policies that are already set. And if I've got ones specific to this, it will apply the specific 2000 policies as well as the domain policies. But what does that mean in practice? Well, for me, I tend to install software from here. So if I go to XP and I go to group policy, I can install software. So I'll just call it install 7-zip. Yep. And then I want this to be install Adobe Reader. And then I could do a bunch of other files. Let's have a look. Do I have those set up? No, I don't. Okay. For this to work, I need software. So for any of these installs to work, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Wait, that was under the XP one, wasn't it? Yeah. So to go to edit, to install software, you go into computer configuration, into software settings, into software installation, and then from here, you can add a package. And what it's looking for is an MSI package, which is Microsoft's own installation package, which is not really a problem, but a lot of things get published as EXEs rather than MSIs. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a couple of files I want to install through the network, and I'll show you how that runs. So I should be back in a moment. Okay. So yeah, it's a bit of a jump, but what I've done, I've copied software now onto my server. So a bunch of software here. I know you see Flash and Adobe and Adobe Reader and all that, but this is just the purpose of showing you group policy and software installation. The fact that there are things that I shouldn't be installing, don't worry about that. Don't worry. Anyway, for this to work, it needs to be a share. So any of these folders with a hand on them basically means that they're shares, and that the remote PCs can see them. So let's make this a share. Let's go share this folder, software, software installers, maximum low permissions, everyone. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Should work. Should be allowed that. So that's now shared. So I can select any one of those. Okay, so let's go into my Active Directory and select XP. Let's set up a group policy object for that. So that's 7-zip. So if I go into here and I go into computer config, software settings, software installation, add a package, instead of going where you would normally go, my computer E, you can't do it that way. You have to go into network places, entire network, and you have to go through this, and then you go through the share this way with software share. So what this does, it puts the correct sharing, it puts a UNC path in, tells it it's on the domain controller. Otherwise it doesn't work. Okay, so let's do the latest one, see if that works. There you go, 7-zip and 19. Cool. Let's put the Adobe Reader in as well. Edit. I actually don't know if the latest version of Adobe Reader works on this. Okay, this is interesting because Adobe Reader is not an MSI file, and I can't select any type. I have to use a script to install it, which I'll set up later. But let's have a look. Google Chrome. Let's put Chrome in. So Google Chrome. Let's have a look. Software settings, software installation, new package. Should work. Wait, where did that come from? Did that go? Yeah, that's right. Okay, and it's 6 point. Yeah, okay, that's fine. There you go. That's why I was saying it's actually put the correct source in. So DC software Google Chrome. Okay. Yeah. So what I'm doing, I'm actually setting each of these group policy objects as a single object. You could combine them, but it becomes a bit awkward. You have to go into it, delete it. Where I can just remove that and delete, or I can just update it if I wanted to. Okay, so that's the XP, and that's pretty much set. So let's have a look. Let's see if my XP thing will launch. Alright, so what I've done now, I've just made the XP the big screen because you don't need to see the 2000 server at the minute. So let's do GP update again. Yeah, GP up. Actually, let's do GP result, because GP result is it tells you what policies are set onto the PC. Let's have a look. Let's see if it sees the policies it needs. Let's have a look. Let's let's make that full screen. That doesn't help. Okay. So it knows it's an XP professional, it knows it's a workstation, part of that domain. Apply group policy objects, install 7-zip, install Google Chrome, install domain policy. Oh, yeah, so that's right. 7-zip, Chrome, where's the other one? Oh, Adobe Reader was not an MSI file. Yeah, that's fine. Users, etc local. Okay. The following not applied because they were filtered out. Not applied, not applied. Okay. Alright, so I should just be able to do this now. GP update. Let's see what that does. GP update. Reapplies all policy settings. Log off, boot, sync. Yeah, so it's GP update /force/boot. Let's see what that does. There's going. So when it restarts, we should see software being installed. There you go. There you go. Install manage software, Google Chrome. So it is installing software through the domain via group policy, which is great. And I absolutely love that. I think that's brilliant. What it's not doing is taking the group policy name and applying that. It's only taking the name that's been assigned. So when I go back into the server, I'll see in Google Chrome, because that's the name of the file, and then it just installs it. Google Chrome is a big file as well, so I'll take a while on this one. System could not log you on because I probably spelled it wrong. There you go. What up if I spelled it correctly? So let's have a look. What software is in here? 7-zip. See, that wasn't on there before. About 7-zip. Version 9. Cool. And yeah, it's a 32-bit version. That's good. What else is in here? Where's Google Chrome? Should be on here, shouldn't it? Program files. Google crash reports. Okay, so Google Chrome doesn't look like it's installed. But this is where the troubleshooting comes into it. So what I need to connect to my server. 192.168.1. So you can do it that way, and this just gives me all the software. Run. Let's see if that installs. Okay, so this is why it doesn't work, because there's a problem with the installation package. The program runs as part of the set. It did not finish as expected. Contact your personal or support vendor. Alright, so this does not install. That's why it didn't work. When it comes down to this, it's going to come down to knowing which programs install on specific Windows versions and then having those configured within Active Directory or within the group policy. So, like I know that where is it? Adobe Reader 9.5 will only install on 2000, but then the later versions, such as this one, I think, installs on XP. Yeah, Adobe Reader DC will install on XP. So, you know, you'll have that if you're doing multiple operating systems. But in reality, all this is a bit pointless, knowing which having multiple versions for multiple operating systems, because once an operating system goes out of support, the companies tend to drop that and push all the same. So I think what's left now is 8.1 and 10, and I don't think there's so much incompatibility with software, so you could pretty much use the latest stuff. Still, it's very useful. As a group policy is very powerful, and it can allow you to do many things. But yeah, I don't know what else to do apart from test and apart from doing different things. You could restrict user movements, so you could do it so people can't right click, they don't have access to command line and that sort of stuff. So it's at this point I think it's just experimenting and seeing what's out there and seeing what you can get away with and seeing what works for you. Like for me, I like installing software through group policy. I like I like the verbose, yeah, the output that it tells you. But what's interesting is when a user logs in, the homepage is not set. So, oh, homepage. Yeah, because what normally happens, something's missing here, isn't it? Because normally you would have the homepage set up as either your corporate or like I like to use the built-in XP thing, which is really nice, and that I think is located. It's located somewhere in the C drive. The point is, you can use something called BG Info, which will put information here and tells you what servers things are connected to. Do I have BG Info in here? You know what? That's a different video. BG Info is going to be a different video because this is long enough. I have a couple of things in mind though for the next couple of episodes. I'm going to be talking about Windows backups. I'm going to be talking about BG Info as well, because that's another add-on which is quite nice. But anyway, until then, thanks for watching.